All right, well, here's the plan. I picked up this block from Lemoore. It's a GM block. The guy who I got it from said it was from some police interceptor vehicle. I'm guessing a Caprice. That's what he was saying. Something he wasn't sure. I said Caprice maybe, and he said, yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not sure. He had it in his 89 pickup. It had a roller cam in it. He said he changed the cam out to a different spec cam that was more suitable for his truck. He just wanted a little bit more lift, so he put this one in it. I'm not sure the year on the block or any of the information. I haven't actually ran any numbers on it. The 627 on the side here, and then it has the normal 868. I think that says on the side here. You see, or is it 898, or is it 638? I don't know. Anyways, has a casting on the side there. But the main reason why I bought this block is because it's a roller block, meaning that the camshaft in it is a roller camshaft. So that means that the tips on these are actually rollers. You can't see them on this side, but they're being held down by this little retainer. This retainer is just kind of a sheet metal boss, and it has 3 bolts in it, and it holds it down. And you can see that the actual block itself has a little bit of a raised boss on it, and then it's just tapped really simply, so that way you can have provision for a roller cam. A lot of the Chevy blocks that are one-piece rear main seals have this provision already in it, and but they have no roller system in it, which is the same as what this block has. This is a TBI block. So this block here has the provision, has the stuff. I think that I can take out of this block here, I think I can take the original equipment out of it, put this equipment into it after I clean it up a little bit, bolt it in, and then just get different push rods, because I measured the push rods on this engine. The push rods on this one measure out to a non-roller block, but the engine code shows that it should be a 2-bolt main, and most 2-bolt mains from this time already had the factory provision. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but most likely it already has the provisions for it. So the plan is put this cam, which the guy had in a truck, and changed out his cam. He said he changed it out to something that had a little bit more lift, but not a whole lot. He had it in an 89 Silverado. I'm not sure the reason why he took it out. He said there was something wrong with the piston noise or something at one point, but he was talking about so many different engines. I'm not sure if this was the engine or not, but he said it was running. It was a great motor. There was nothing super crazy wrong with it. He just pulled it. Seems like the kind of guy who just likes to change motors a lot, because he had a lot of them and he was building several of them. So the idea is I'm going to take this little hold down guy, bolted into this motor here, which has 60,000 miles on it. I'm going to take these roller lifters here. I'm going to put them inside of the same factory spots using these little factory clip hold downs here. And these are going to hold them from rotating, because they have a roller on the tip, and that roller is kind of turning, and it's being held down. If it rotates, then it's not turning in the right direction. So it has to kind of always roll in the same direction as the camshaft. Otherwise, it's going to not work. The aftermarket factory ones that they make, they have a little tie between them. So you have 2 posts coming in like this, and then there's a crossbar across them, and it allows them to not turn because it's just always held there. So those are going in there. This guy should be getting some long tube headers and a Vortec intake. I got some Vortec heads here. You can see they're original. They still have the info on them from the factory, made in 99. I mean, these are just bare bones stock Vortec heads. I think I showed some videos or pictures of them earlier. I mean, they have like a little bit of flash rust on them because they sat on a shelf for a long time. But I mean, really, they're about as nice as you can get for a set of heads for $250. So that was a Craigslist steal there. Super happy about that. These guys, long tube headers, 600 CFM carburetor, intake manifold, roller cam, HEI distributor. Pretty much ready to go. This thing's going to be pretty awesome. And then I'll continue running all of the rest of my factory components instead of the ones that are inside the actual truck here. So like the old school air conditioner won't be run. The old school, what is that, power steering pump and everything. That's actually so similar. I can just run this one here and then just modify the output for it. So, I mean, it's almost the same exact design. It still even looks the same. Then I can run serpentine, have a smaller air conditioner pump, less weight, just as good. Probably going to be running the new coolant, or not coolant, but the new refrigerant anyways. The alternator probably puts out more power than the original alternator does. Not that there's anything really wrong with the original alternator. This is a factory AC truck, so I'd like to keep the provisions for AC, and I think it'll do really well. Then on the back here, we have the 4L80E transmission. I'm going to put a transmission shift controller on it from TCI, I think. I've seen some pretty good stuff, and I'll explain that as I do it. That's the fun stuff right now. Transfer case, still working on that. I got the stuff opened up. I got the pieces off of it. I need to get some new yokes. If you look here, some of these yokes are kind of jacked up, like not super jacked up. Let me get some light here and I'll just show you real quick. If you look at these yokes, I can't feel it with my finger, or I can feel it with my fingernail though. That one's not as bad as this one, which is like so bad that, I mean, it's scary. It's kind of crunchy. And they're all the same size. They're all 32 splines. I think I'm going to just change them all out with 32 spline 1350 U-joints. Because these are those weird Dodge U-joints. They have like an inner piece. There's no like lip on the clip here. And these straps kind of suck. They'll break on you. And it's just not a really great solution. 32 spline though is super tough. I mean, these are like 2-inch diameter. They have a 2-inch shoulder. I mean, this is 2-inch here. This is like 1.4-inch shaft, 32 spline. I mean, it's a monster. These things are, I mean, they're giant U-joints. They're just, the actual straps are kind of a limitation. I know some people will run a 1410 on the back, on the output. So you'll have your front here. They'll put like a 3110. They'll put like a 3110 here, and they'll put like a 1410 here. But I think I'm going to run the 1350 on all of them because they ran 1350s on trucks all the time when it's a divorce unit. So I don't need the additional clearance, the angularity, because the transfer case is going to end up being in the middle of the giant truck. I mean, it's a crew cab truck, so when you put it in the center, I'm hoping for equal length drive lines. So when you put it in the center between the two sides there, I mean, from there all the way back to there, you can't even see the rear wheel. It's like so far back there. Oh, hey there, back wheel. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. But anyways, I mean, it's like 12 feet. So I'll have a low front drive line, but the upside is I'll have real low angularity as well for the drive shaft. So that's it. That's the update for today. This weekend, hopefully I'll get this thing tore all the way apart. And maybe get some paint on it and get it back together. I picked up also a seal driver kit because I figured I would need it. These are on Amazon, 30 bucks. It's just a cheapo kit, but it's got everything you need. This is all aluminum. I mean, super cheap, super easy. It'll drive your seals fine. And there's a little, there's a bolt on here, so that way you can like actually physically attach it to it. That's good because then you can put pressure. You can kind of angle it whichever way you need to. Say a seal is going in and it's not going in kind of right, and it's not going straight, and maybe it's leaning this way a little bit. You can kind of yank on it and then tap it in, and it'll straighten out. So pretty nice that they actually have that to hold it on there versus just some people just like take a dowel or a socket or something. You can do it that way. You can use a socket. I've used sockets before, but actually having the right tools for the job, super great. This is the power built one, and the picture on Amazon, it doesn't show that it comes with the case. It just shows this picture here, but it does come with a case, which is pretty cool. So totally worth it, worth every penny. All right, guys, take it easy, have fun, keep working on projects.